And Andrew, you've got some breaking news on that front in relation to what the plans are for Aussies in Israel.
Kieran, Sky News can reveal the federal government is in discussions on organising evacuation flights for Australians out of Israel with the help of Qantas, with the airline and the government understood to be in discussions with the recently maligned national carrier. The move comes as the opposition continues to attack the Prime Minister for not doing enough about what is emerging as a national security situation. Senior government sources have told me, despite Anthony Albanese being in Uluru today and yesterday, all the appropriate meetings are being held concerning security in Australia at the moment. In Britain, we saw Rishi Sunak, their Prime Minister, visit a synagogue. My understanding is Anthony Albanese is in for a similar visit to a synagogue in Australia tonight.
I wanted to come here tonight to stand with you. To stand with you in this hour of grief as we mourn the victims of an utterly abhorrent act of terror.
But have the government been a bit flat-footed? Was it a mistake for the PM not to hold a courtyard press conference on Sunday morning and a National Security Committee of Cabinet meeting then, for example? Anthony Albanese hasn't been on holiday like Scott Morrison in Hawaii during the fires, but there are political risks in not being seen to address these crisis matters front on. Today we learned of the first Australian death in the Israel war, 66-year-old Galit Carbone. She was reported executed in the Hamas-led violence. The Prime Minister reacted to that.
Our sympathies go to the family and loved ones of Ms Carbone. The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade is providing consular assistance to her family in Israel, but also here in Australia.
I reported this morning that Victorian police are investigating an incident in Melbourne yesterday afternoon in which 4 men of Middle Eastern origin told the driver of a car, quote, "Do you know where the Jews are? We're on the hunt to kill Jews," unquote. I've heard audio related to this, as has the Australian Jewish Association. They tweeted about it last night. AJA has seen multiple reports about a carload of Arabs hunting for Jews. Corner Williams and Toorak Road authorities are aware, stay safe. The association went on to say, we've heard audio from someone who were questioned by them, do you know where any Jews are? Why? They'll know what we're going to do with them. We're on the hunt to kill Jews. The Victorian Police statement on this says, quote, police have been told a car pulled over near a man on Toorak Road near Williams Road when threats were made by the occupants of the car about 4 p.m. There's absolutely no place at all in our society for anti-Semitic or hate-based behaviour, and Victoria Police is committed to responding to any such acts. Investigators are currently speaking to all parties and the investigation remains ongoing. Laura Jays reported on this alleged threat this morning. And that was in the Sydney eastern suburb of Bellevue Hill. New South Wales Police have provided Sky News with this comment. On Monday, officers attached to Eastern Suburbs Police Area Command received a report 4 teenagers have been verbally threatened by a man on Bellevue Road, Bellevue Hill, about 6:30 p.m. Detectives have commenced an investigation. No arrests have been made and inquiries are ongoing. The Environment Minister, Tanya Plibersek, has spoken to Kieran today about these kind of threats. We'll hear that interview later in the program.
Well, of course, we absolutely will do whatever is necessary to prevent any sort of attacks or hostility here in Australia. The state governments are obviously working with their police forces to offer protection should it be necessary. But it is important to say that there is no place for hatred or vilification or any sort of threats here in Australia.
So, Kieran, just repeating that news we've broken at the top of the program, the federal government in discussions with Qantas about possible evacuation flights out of Israel.